I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna cut that part out.
I know you was.
Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Back again with another one.
Yes, sir, brother. And before we jump in and get started on today's topic, make sure y'all subscribe, like, share. Like I said, me and Peach gonna keep flooding y'all with another one and another one and another one.
And another one and another one, baby.
Yes, sir. So what you got for me today, brother?
Oh, man. I think, the news around the NBA landscape is, kind of been put on the back burner with the NBA Finals still going on. But we got two big names floating a little bit around in free agency. We got James Harden, we got Damian Lillard. Two guys that are in that realm of, I would say, I'm not going to say it's something that they want, but we don't know exactly, but both needing a ring in their career to add to their resumes. As basketball fans, we all want to see Dame in better pastures. That's why I want to start today's show off with talking about Damian Lillard and a few places that, we think would suit him and put him in a position to win his first championship. Any teams come to mind for you, Savage?
It has to be a team that's ready to get over the hump. I mean, selfishly, I would say the Lakers.
I knew it. I knew it. I was like, could he give me one team before he said?
I would say the Lakers, bro. Because I'm thinking about the teams, right? The teams that's ready to win now. Dame needs to go to a situation with another star. Maybe Milwaukee, but you got a point guard in Drew Holiday. You had to move off of Drew. Maybe you can move Drew to the 2, but I don't think that's the best option. You got Chris Middleton, right? So, and you could move. I don't know. I just think they are cemented with their 1, 2, and 3 in Milwaukee. Boston, I know they need a point guard, but I think they need more of a playmaking point guard instead of a guy like Dame who's going to come in and can give you 50, 60, right? That scorer. The Sixers, maybe. That's a good option, but I don't know how they would pay him because it's paying Tobias Harris $500 million a year. And you got a guy like Tyrese Maxey who, maybe, you'll have to give him up because this has to go down in the trade. And maybe the Lakers is wishful thinking because who are you going to give? Portland? But then, in the West, I don't think he'll go with KD and Booker. I think they also need a playmaking guard. So it's like, and he mentioned Miami. I think that would be a good spot as well. That was another team I was going to mention. But I think Miami's problem, that'll help them, but they also are small. They need some big men down there in Miami. But Miami might have been my second spot. Lakers, Miami. I don't know. I think that's my top 2 spots.
Top 2 spots.
I got who one. You got somebody. Go ahead. I can tell you had somebody on top of your head.
This team is from out of left field, and I mentioned
Don't say the Pelicans. Don't say the Pelicans, bro.
I'm not.
Don't say the Wizards.
The CJ Dame thing is we're not going back to that, man. Shout out to them too. They did their damage in Portland for them years, man. But I mentioned them on my Chris Paul take. I'm going to say the Timberwolves. I think you package up Carl Anthony. Hear me out, bro.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, you package up Carl Anthony Towns, Mike Conley, maybe somebody else, and you send them to Portland and you bring in Dame. You got Dame, Anthony Edwards. You'll still have McDaniels coming back from off injury. You keep Naz Reid, who I think he might be a free agent this year, but you start him at that 4, and then you go Rudy Gobert. I think that's an interesting team, bro. Like
2K Peach.
Bro,
go ahead, my fault.
I don't know what it is. I think Damian Lillard and Anthony Edwards in the backcourt, I think that's fucking fire, bro. And I'm just speaking hypothetically, but that shit could really happen. Be on the lookout. The Timberwolves, and I know they just fucking sold their state to get fucking Rudy Gobert. But like, they need to figure out how they can make this happen right now. And I think Karl Anthony Towns is a great asset and piece that they can move off of right now and really invest in Anthony Edwards. Whether you're gonna ship Karl Anthony Towns out and get a guy like Dame or go get more pieces. But hey, Timberwolves and the Damian Lillard sweepstakes. What do you want to say to that before I say my next team?
You know I want to say something about that. If Portland's GM and called Damian Lillard and said, we're going to trade you to the Timberwolves, he's going to change his phone number. He's going to block the GM, bro. He's not going to Minnesota, bro. Minnesota has so much turmoil. I just see Dame going to a team that can win now. I think Minnesota is still trying to identify their culture, get the right coach in there, figure out the pieces. A young Anthony Edwards, that backcourt would be explosive. But at the same time, it's like he's young. Dame don't have time for players to hit their peak, hit their prime, and things like that. Dame is an aging superstar who is still in his prime, but towards the back end of it. He's still going to be 60. He's one of those rare, players that can do that. But I just don't see him going to a young core. That's why I mentioned Miami. That's why I mentioned the Lakers. Maybe Boston. I want the Lakers so bad.
My thing about the Lakers, I think the Lakers is on their way like in another direction. But it would be nice for them to have a point guard of Dame's.
You need somebody that can score. You need somebody that can come in there and give you buckets, bro.
You want me to tell you another interesting team though?
Wait, before you do that. I said Milwaukee. I was thinking Milwaukee, bro. But what do you do with Drew Middleton and
trade his ass? Pat, Drew. Sorry, 6'5". Me and you are big 6'5" guys.
Yeah.
Pack Drew up. Pack like a pickup. Get rid of Joe Ingles and Pat Connaughton and whoever unload that, and then you have a Damian Lillard. You got Chris Middleton. You got Giannis. Start Bobby Portis, because I don't know if they make that move. I don't know if they'll be able to re-sign Brook Lopez. But yeah, go play with Giannis. I would my top two picks. The Timberwolves is my hypothetical pick that I personally would like to 2K Pete, you call it. But Milwaukee and the Sixers. The Sixers is an attractive destination for me, which I don't know how they will really pull that off. I think you said, you will have to put Maxey in the deal, and then you're already losing Harden, so you're basically building around Dame and Embiid. But if you do get those two superstars, you can get a lot of vets that will sign their mid-level exception. You know what I mean? Just put the bits and pieces, because you're not going to need much. You're just going to need shooting and defense pretty much. And then Embiid and Dame can handle the rest. I think what separates Dame from Harden and Maxey is that, he's going to be aggressive scoring the ball. And, if you've seen in Portland, Dame will have his 10 assist game, his 8 assist game.
Oh, yeah.
He has a little bit of that facilitation bag under him when he, getting doubles and shit like that. But Sixers and Bucks is my top two picks for Damian Lillard.
I would love to see Dame in Philly. My problem with that is I don't know if I'm Philly, if I'm giving up Tyrese Maxey. Maxey's a beast, bro. I like Maxey's game a lot. He still has a lot of room to grow. This is a guy that could not hit Damian Lillard level, but you'll have him for longer. You know what I mean? You got a younger player who can, grow with the team, with the culture, and kind of be a staple for that Sixers team. So I don't know if you want to give up that much for not even a sure shot, because your best player, the MVP, you don't know when he's showing up when it comes to playoff time, right? What he had 16 points or something like that in Game 7 against Boston. So I think that's a lot to give up on a big question mark, with your best player. I do like the Bucks thing with Giannis. But real quick though, why don't you like the Lakers thing? You got to break that down for me, bro. Because you got AD and Bron who are going to play inside for the most part. If you can add Damian Lillard to that mix, bro, I think that's staying healthy.
I'm done with the Lakers.
They beat Denver. They beat Denver if they got Damian Lillard.
I don't know if I can say that, bro, because they still wouldn't be able to stop Yoke. And I think also too, how would they be able to, like, who are you putting next to these guys if you're gonna sign a player of Damian Lillard caliber? Not saying that you can't get guys, but I don't know. I don't like the mix at this point. I rather LeBron, AD, and then you sprinkle out the guys around them, kind of like what they got now. But we didn't know D'Angelo Russell was gonna be this garbage in the fucking playoffs. True. You know what I'm saying?
But the problem with that is just AD, bro. AD is trending this way. He's not the AD we seen in the Pelicans or in the bubble. He's just not, bro. He can't be. He's not available, and he just doesn't look as aggressive offensively. He's too inconsistent. And this is LeBron James in year 21. You see him running. He still played. It's LeBron James, right? So we hold him to a different standard. But we seen him run out of gas. He's had some injuries these last 2 years. You know what I mean? So. And maybe that's a reason why Dame says, I don't want to go there, because you don't know the certainty. But I'm just thinking of places that would fit schematically. I think with Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Damian Lillard, you could figure some things out as far as, places. You would probably have to do a sign and trade with Austin Reaves. So he would probably have to go if that was to happen. But
and you need a point guard. Put Malik Beasley out there, with his shooting and stuff. And you could probably figure out something at the 4. It looks all right, bro. I don't know if I'm pulling my Lakers bias card here. That with you in the last 15 to 25 seconds you've been talking, the shit's kind of been growing on me. I'm sitting there thinking about the shit. I'm tired of, because then Dame's gonna go there, and then that, no disrespect to LeBron, but that stigma that rubs off from LeBron on you that you got to deal with. You seen they almost fucking took Russell Westbrook's skeleton out of his fucking body, the stress that he went through playing with the Lakers. We look at Westbrook. We was looking at Westbrook in a whole different light once he got to the damn Lakers, man. So it's like, I don't know. I don't want to see that happen to Dame. I don't want Dame. Dame has always been like that. That protective superstar. We don't got time for him to be in those situations.
If that's the thing, it needs to be a small market. It needs to be Milwaukee. It needs to be a place like Portland. I don't think it could be a big market if the pressure. I know the pressure of LeBron James in LA is just crazy, right? You're just under a microscope. But I think Dame is a guy that's going to flourish, bro. I think Westbrook. Let's not act like Westbrook, as great of a player as he is, that his flaws that we've seen in LA didn't exist before he got to LA. A lot of people didn't like Westbrook's game. Absolutely. But no one was watching Washington Wizards games that much. You know what I mean? When he was there. So it's just like now you're on ESPN and TNT almost every night. So now your players just under a microscope. But I think certain guys can flourish. Look at Rui Hachimura did. And Austin Reaves did, and certain guys.
I like how Rui grew on you a little bit, cause that first happened, bro. You was
I was there. I didn't think that's what they needed, bro. I think they needed another big. And I still stand by that. They got to the Western Conference Finals, but somebody that can just bang with Yoke, cause Yoke was giving AD the business.
Nah, OD. You gotta have somebody that could come in and take the pressure off.
But let's talk about James Harden real quick, though, bro. I know we was on Dame for a little while. I was about to say we was trailing a little bit on Dame, but I'm gonna be honest here, man. I'm starting to. I didn't think that this would happen in the beginning of the season when I was hearing the rumors about it, but I really think that James Harden might go back to Houston. I don't think it's the decision that he should make if he's trying to win a championship. I know they got, some solid young guys there in Jalen Green, Kevin Porter, Jabari Smith, and, they got Baby Jokic, Mr. Alperen Sengun. But, Harden is at this stage in his career, at this stage in his career, it should be about, winning a title, which I don't. I think if he leaves the Sixers and goes back to Houston, I don't think that's where his his mind is at right now. But I was looking at Houston, and like I stated, with the young pieces, I think you got the third overall pick, maybe fourth.
You just signed Ime
something
Udoka. I mean, what other are you going to use that fourth pick and package up some of these young superstars and maybe get a piece? Is it something that we don't know about? But I don't have no teams that I want to see Harden play for, but the Sixers. Like, I don't know. I think they need to run it back again. But what are your thoughts, bro?
I agree, bro. But I am of the mindset, and I could be completely wrong. James Harden maybe still wants to win, but I feel like James Harden wants to go get the bag and just play basketball, you know, at the level he's been playing for as long as possible while he's, you know, getting the max amount of money that he can get. I don't think James Harden will ever win a championship. That's just how I feel. I feel like his career, you know, which is still a great career, MVP, the numbers he was putting up, right? It was a time where we were questioning, is James Harden the best one-on-one player ever? Like, that was a discussion. I don't agree with it, but that was a discussion, right? Offensively, with the step backs and getting to the foul line, and he was putting up 40s, and I forget how much he averaged that year when he led the league in scoring. But I think his career will, you know, finish out without a championship. I could see him going back to Houston. Reports are that he's torn between staying in Philly and going to Houston. I think he should stay in Philly and give it another shot, like you said. You know, try to get, you know, maybe where they went wrong last year, because you were a game away from getting into the
Eastern
Conference
Conference
Finals, and I think they match up with Miami better than Boston did. So you never know what can happen there. And that had been the first time they were in the Eastern Conference Finals since 2001, since AI. So I think you run it back, but I wouldn't be surprised if Harden said, I'm going to Houston. I got a bunch of young guys. I'm going to make this money. You know, I'm a control, you know, that team over there from a veteran standpoint, and, you know, just play it out. Because I don't think he's championship shopping.
Wow.
And I don't want to see him in Phoenix.
Bro. I don't either, bro. I'm tired of those. You know, the head of the snake is the three guards. Like, space that shit out. Yeah. And I know Kevin Durant's not a guard, but those are all. It was the same way I felt about the Brooklyn Nets when they got Harden.
Harden.
I was about to say we.
No, you said we. You a Nets fan.
You understand?
I meant to ask you how you feel when y'all got swept by the Sixers. I meant to ask you that.
I'm not a Nets fan, bro. I'm neutral. You know, I'm a run to. I'm a Phoenix Suns fan again. For those who don't know, before Kevin Durant came into the league, I was a huge Steve Nash fan. I used to argue with my man Ant Cartagena all the time about who's better out of Steve Nash and Dwayne Wade. And my argument was, fuck that 2006 ring. Nash got 2 MVPs. He got 2 of them things.
That he shouldn't have got, if you want to be honest. So we could talk about that. We could do a whole show on that.
Oh, I don't know if I can defend it that much nowadays with everything going on. Wade got 3 of them things too. Shit. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm not a fan of you know, those heavy. I like things spaced out. You know, you got an elite point guard, then maybe your wing is a nice 3-and-D guy that could get you 23, 24 a night. Then you got either a pick and pop big or a big that's a animal on the glass that can finish out. Like, I like that. I don't like when it's all ball dominant guys that need the ball in their hands to be, you know, their best version of themselves and stuff like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, some of those things work. You know what I mean? If you're, you know, Steve Nash, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say, that's how your man got his 2 rings.
But that's like super. That's supernova. You know what I'm saying? That shit, they won 2 titles, but they didn't win 3.
Bro, I think that's the best team ever. That could be another.
Not 73 and 9. That Kevin Durant, Steph 16, Curry, 17? Klay Thompson. Yeah,
I think that's the best. I think that's the best NBA team ever. I don't think no other NBA team in their prime can beat that team.
I'm gonna let that marinate.